Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. Welcome to episode 7 of VLOGMAS. I am feeling so sad this morning. The plans have completely changed. My friends' trains have been cancelled, York Christmas market is cancelled, and we are getting ready for a big old storm. So yeah, not the best start to the day. I have been in such a strop, but we're going to turn it around and we're going to try and make the most of it and have a cosy storm day, and we're going to try and rearrange. Me and Sam are thinking about heading into the markets tomorrow. So yeah, I'm not really sure the plans today. I'm someone that like mentally prepares myself for any sort of plans. So when there's a change, I'm like, it really throws me off. But we're going to have a cosy storm day. It's all that we can do. I feel like the country has literally just shut down for the day. So welcome back. First things first, I'm going to sort my hair out because I've treated myself to a bit of an everything shower. I've put a hair mask in and we're going to do a nice bouncy blow dry, and I thought we could try out some of the new products that I received in my Look Fantastic order the other day, and I thought I could show you how I do like my bouncy blow dry, how I style my little fringy bits, and just treat ourselves to a hair wash to try and cheer ourselves up. Look how sad this is. Their bed all freshly made, their little Christmas presents waiting, fresh towels on the bed. I could literally cry. But we're not going to get into it anymore. Let's focus on doing a nice bouncy blow dry. That will cheer me up. So I've brushed through my hair. I put in some of the Coco and Eve Miracle Hair Elixir, you won't be surprised to know, and I've also put in a little bit of the Dream Cocktail by Colour Wow. So I'm going to try out this product, which is the one I'm most excited about, which is the Colour Wow Extra Large Bombshell Volumizer. God, I feel like that is a proper mouthful. But I feel like a bouncy blow dry is what everyone wants at the moment. I've said this before, but I feel like curls and waves are slowly dying a death, and everyone wants that big bouncy blow dry. So I'm hoping it's going to be one of my new favourite products. It says to use 2 to 3 pumps worth of product on each section, which sounds like a lot, but we're going to do what it says. Okay. I always get scared using this much like hair product, just in case it like makes my hair greasy. You know when you get that feeling of like sticky product being left in your hair? And then I'm just going to use my absolute favourite blow dry brush, which is the Babyless. It's like the half ceramic one, half bristle one. This is an absolute state, but I actually struggled to find this brush. I feel like it was a bit of a fluke being able to find that, because people have asked for the link since when I like mention it on my videos, and I can't really find it online, but I did pick it up in store in Boots. So if you're ever in Boots, have a look out for this, because it is the best brush to blow dry your hair with. And then when it's pretty much like 80 to 90% dry, use this brush and I'll wrap the hair around it like this and like pull it through really slowly with the hairdryer on it to try and get that bounce at the end. And then just like leave it for a few seconds just to cool down so that it holds it a little bit better. Slowly unravel. Look at that. I feel like that product definitely has made a difference. It's like a real nice bounce to it. I also get quite a few questions on how I style like my fringe, my bangs, whatever you want to call it. And I kind of go through phases of doing different things. But at the moment, what's working best for me is literally just bringing it forward, blow drying it straight down, and then I'm just using my barrel brush to blow dry it forward like you would a normal middle fringe, and then just parting it. I also find what helps is while it's still warm, I just kind of like fold it and bend it like this to try and get that like little flick to the side, and that's pretty much all I do for my fringe at the moment. blow dry, all nice and bouncy. I actually love this product. I noticed the difference so much in the way that these bounces hold. Obviously we'll have to see what it's like tomorrow to see if it actually does last, and it's probably not a good time to test it when it's raining and windy and there's literally a storm outside, but we shall see. I love it. I also added a little bit in my fringy bits, which I forgot to do initially, but you can use it on wet and dry hair. So definitely recommend this if you're looking to get that bouncy blow dry look. But I think we're going to head out. I want to go to M&S. I want to get some snacks from M&S, and I've also just put a post on my YouTube just in case anyone has any questions, so that later maybe we can do like a bit of a Q&A, because I'm not sure what we're going to do today. It's going to be a real chilled day at home. It's really thrown me off, and I'm so sad that I'm not getting to see my girls. Like, we're just messaging each other now, like, how sad. Like, what are the chances of this? We've honestly had this date. Obviously it's out of anyone's control, it's the weather, it can't be changed, but we've had this date in the diary for literally weeks and weeks, and it's just sod's law, isn't it? It's just so typical. And I said to Sam, like, this is going to be the only Saturday that the York Christmas markets are closed throughout the whole of like November and December, and it's the one that we've planned to go and to see each other. So yeah, it's really sad. But my friend's train from London was just completely cancelled, so there wasn't even any chance of us like just having a cozy weekend together, because she literally couldn't get here. And then obviously she was worried about getting home tomorrow as well in case there's any issues tomorrow, and she's obviously got work on Monday. So really sad. Hopefully I get to see them at some point. Everyone's just, I feel like when you're an adult it's so hard to plan things with your friends, because obviously everyone's got their own commitments and everyone's so busy, and when things like this happen it's just like, because no one else has got, like, no one's got another free weekend before Christmas. So it's just one of those. Me and Sam are going to try and make the best of it. I'm hoping that we can maybe go to the Christmas market tomorrow if it's open. Fingers crossed. I need to ring up the restaurant that I booked for us and see if I can change the reservation to tomorrow so that me and Sam can go. So fingers crossed we can have a little festive day out regardless, and hopefully I get to see my friends soon. But yeah, I hope you're all cozy. I hope you're staying at home nice and safe and seeing this storm out. So yeah, I'm gonna get sorted now, and then we can go to M&S and stock up on the supplies, ready for a cozy stormy day at home. I think everyone's had the same idea. It's absolute chaos here. Everyone's coming to get their storm supplies.
Well, they canned food for the one day they're going to be stuck.
This country shuts down. It's
honestly
mental. Right, we check the blow dry. First stop is M&S. There is a Morrison's there if we need it, but I think we'll be okay in M&S, won't we?
Yeah, I don't think we need to go to more than one place.
I wanted to get some of the cookies, but there's literally none here. Me and Sam, when we last came here before they went like viral, they were like fully stocked, weren't they? Now you just can't get them. I do like the look of these though. The birthday. They do look nice, the chocolate twists. Don't know what I'm fancying, as if it's just the fruit granola cookies left. Who wants them? They look like the ones from Dubai, those pastries. They look nice. Oh look, a little egg one. Oh no, that's an apricot. We made it. We survived storm. What is it? We keep calling it Storm Darren. It's not actually Darren though. So it is Darren. It's just spelled differently. Dara.
Yeah, GH.
Oh, Storm Dara. That's a bit more bougie than Darren, isn't it? But we got our supplies. I thought I would do a little M&S haul of what we picked up. We got some Christmassy bits in there. Hey, yeah! We're at home all day with you today now. Are you happy about Storm Dara? Yeah, you are.
She loves it when our plans go to...
I know, and you had your walk just in time this morning, didn't you? Literally as soon as we stepped on our driveway, it started raining, so you got your walk in. Could you turn the light on, please?
Which one?
This one.
Just that one.
And the little spotlights. I hate it when we don't have the spotlights on in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, it looks
really ugly.
It shows all the finger marks and grease.
Right, crisps. There was a tough choice with the crisps. I was eyeing up some hot honey ones, hot honey pigs in blankets that looked good, but Sam decided on spicy prawn and cocktail. I don't like prawn cocktail,
So we had to get one each.
So we had to get one each, and these are my favourite ones from M&S, the sour cream and jalapeno. And then Sam got a choppy twist. Can I show them my choppy twist?
Yeah.
Oh, look at the little bag. It's not too bad.
I love pastry. It looks like a good one, that as well.
That does look like a good one. I'll give you that. Are you going to have it now?
Yeah, I mean, that's
Could warm it up in the air fryer. Sam slipped her cheeky little multi-pack
yeah, but
biscuits.
they're extra creamy custard creams
and
extra creamy
so
bourbon creams. They're
thick,
fat.
chunky biscuits. You like a biscuit, don't you? That's like your have a nice cup of tea and dunk. And then I've never had these before, but I love the plain ones of just like the chocolate buttons, so I just got the caramel one.
She needs food, doesn't she?
Oh yeah, it's your lunchtime.
She ain't got any meat, has she?
And then Sam got some Percy's, his favourite.
I remember why I wanted to go to Waitrose.
To get her food.
That's all she's got left.
I'll cook her some beef. There's loads of beef. And then I just got for lunch some little sausage rolls. These are smoked bacon and cheddar. They have loads of flavours, these. And then we did the dining, what is it, for 15 or something? We went for the chicken parm. It looks nice. You get like a little pot of sauce. they stink, don't they?
Oh,
what are you doing with that?
I've weighed her out a little bit of biscuits.
And you're going to snap up a treat in there?
Yeah.
You are being spoiled, baby girl. But yeah, that's what we're having for dinner. And then we got... It's always hard to do these because we're quite fussy. Sam's quite fussy with potatoes.
I'm not fussy, I just don't like them as much as you.
He doesn't like chunky chips. He only likes skinny fries, really. And like, you're not a fan of like mash or anything like that, are you?
No.
So we got this
Yeah, we've certain meals, but not this one.
chicken parm, and then we got these potato dauphinoise because I love these. So I'll just have them another night if we don't have them tonight. And then we got some fries like outside of the dinner.
They're good fries,
These are good. These are like McDonald's chips. You get these from M&S. And then for our dessert for the dine-in, we got the sticky toffee pudding, which is always really good from M&S. And then we got a big custard to go with the pudding. And why do we always go overboard? Every single time we go in there, like we got this. We were going to get a garlic bread to go with the dinner, but we ended up. We thought, well, we might as well get a pizza. But these are really nice, and they're not too bad to be fair. They're quite skinny and they're really thin. But this one is ultra thin margarita with basil pesto, and it has like big mozzarella balls on it. So I thought that'd be really nice. I've had one of these before from there, different flavour, and it's really good. They're like the perfect crispiness, thinness. I love a thin pizza. So yeah, that's our little M&S haul. I'm excited to have some lunch. Basically, food is what is getting me through this boring, stormy day at home. And I've had a few questions as well on my post. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself some lunch because I've not eaten yet today. I'll make myself a nice big cup of tea or something, and then we can sit down and have a bit of a catch-up, a Q&A, and go through the questions that I've got on my little post. The storm is hotting up outside, and this is going to be really random to some people because if you watch my videos, if you've watched my videos for some time, you'll know I am not a drinker at all. I don't like to say anymore that I'm completely teetotal. I used to be. I did like about a 1.5-year stint of being like completely teetotal and didn't touch alcohol at all. But now if I'm with my girls or something and I'm in the mood and I fancy a glass of like Prosecco or something like that, I will have a few drinks nowadays. But how often do I see my friends? That's probably like 3 times a year absolute max that I'll drink. But I love a Baileys, so it gets to Christmas time and I will always have a bottle of Baileys in the fridge. So I thought today's the perfect day to have a little festive Baileys before we start our little Q&A. I thought it was the perfect chance because if I would have been with my girls today, I probably would have had a little glass or 2 of bubbly with them. So I'm going to have a little Baileys and then we can sit and do our Q&A. But yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, I don't really touch alcohol, but I kind of take the pressure off it. This is the thing, like, I don't like labelling myself. Like, I used to be, as I've just said, completely teetotal. I used to say, like, I was teetotal, I didn't drink at all. But then I had, like, one good experience where I had a night and I was like, I'm gonna try a glass of alcohol, like, I'm gonna see how I get on with it. And I had a really good time. I wasn't sick. I didn't get those feelings that used to make me want to stop drinking the day after, because I used to suffer really badly with, like, anxiety. Like, the next day I would just feel awful. Like, I think that everyone hates me. I think I was like a big embarrassment. I think it's quite common, but I used to get it quite severely, and it used to be enough to make me want to never drink again. But I had a couple of, like, one or two, like, occasions where I didn't feel like that, and I actually really enjoyed myself. So I don't like to label myself as anything. I would say I drink like 3 or 4 times a year, absolute max. Like, when we go away for New Year's Eve with our friends, we're staying in like a log cabin, and I'll probably have like a couple of glasses of prosecco. Like, nothing crazy, but yeah, I wouldn't call myself teetotal nowadays, but I do love Baileys. We're gonna have a little Baileys. I also love having a Baileys hot chocolate. Like, Baileys in a hot chocolate, I need some ice in here, but Baileys in a hot chocolate is absolutely incredible. And I feel like when you make it at home, it is so much better than when you get it at Christmas. I feel like I can't talk at the moment. It's so much better than when you get it at the Christmas market. I've had so many disappointing Baileys hot chocolates from Christmas markets, and yeah, I feel like making it at home is so much nicer. So let's have a little catch up and a Baileys. Cheers. That storm is actually sounding crazy out there. I can't imagine walking around outside in this anyway. As sad as I am about not seeing my friends and the plans being cancelled, I don't think traipsing around in York would have been a good idea in this weather. I honestly think it would have been an absolute disaster. So making the most of being at home and looking out there now, it looks like hell. It looks absolutely torrential out there, and you can probably hear the wind in the background because it's like whistling through the windows. So if you can hear that, apologies, but I'm going to get up the questions that were left on my little post this morning and we can have a bit of a catch up. Oh, okay, straight in the deep end, literally as I've just gone on there, there's the first question, the most recent question that was posted 3 minutes ago. Jumping straight into the deep end, when do you think you want to start trying for a baby? I don't even know how to answer this question. To be honest, I don't know with this one because my mind changes all the time, and I need people to tell me, how do you know you're ready? Please leave it in the comments, because I go through periods, I think me and Sam go through periods of being like uncontrollably broody, to the point where, like, when we're shopping, I'm kind of like exposing us here, I don't want people to get the wrong idea here, but like when we're like in the shops and stuff, like for example when we were in London the other week and we were in M&S, sorry I'm playing with my hair, it's really annoying, I can like feel little wispy bits in my eyes, but when we were in M&S we just like went straight to the baby section and we spend like 20 minutes just like gooing over all the baby clothes and like holding them up, and like, I don't know, I just feel like we go through periods of being like so broody, and I'm not gonna lie, I've had periods where I'm like, I'm ready to have a child now. Like, I know like it's such a life-changing decision, that's why I don't want to make it lightly, but I'm just like, when do you know? I know everyone says you never know when you're ready, you just kind of have to go for it and just like work things out as you go, but I don't know in the same breath if I'm ready to give up our like selfishness at the moment, because we are quite selfish in our lifestyles, and we've learnt a lot through having Lola living with us, like the commitments to having a dog, and I can't even imagine the commitments of having a baby. Like, I feel like not people take the decision lightly, but I know through social media and stuff like that, I feel like you can have this perception of what having a baby's like, and I feel like the reality is so much more intense. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but just know that we go through phases of being like proper broody, like I'd have a baby right now and then in the next week I can't think of anything worse, like the thought of giving up some of our freedoms, like there's still quite a bit of travelling that I really want to do, that we both want to do. So I don't know, I'd say it's definitely like without a doubt in our 5-year plan, but being 27, I feel like that's not a given, but I feel like that's in like, I don't know, I'd say 3 to 5 years if I had to put an estimation on it. Like, obviously you never know what's going to happen in life, but yeah, let me know in the comments if you've got kids, how did you know when it was the right time? Like, I've asked my mum and my dad. My dad says something very different to what my mum says. My mum says, like, you don't know, you never know, like, you just kind of have to go for it and hope for the best. Whereas my dad says he felt like this switch turn on in his brain, and he said, like, he started to feel too old to like go out and party, and he kind of felt quite lost in his life, and he just knew within himself that he was ready for it. But I don't think we're at that phase yet. But yeah, I literally go, I don't know if it's when I'm ovulating or if it's to do with my cycle, but I definitely go through periods of just being so broody. And also because me and Sam aren't a couple that goes out drinking every weekend, and we're at home quite a lot, and obviously I'm really blessed with my job that I'm at home a lot, Sam's at home a lot. Like, I feel like logistically starting a family wouldn't be impossible for us right now, but it's just a decision thing. Like, I want to make sure that we're both mentally ready for it, and it's an active choice, not something that we're just kind of doing just because it feels like the next thing that we should be doing, if that makes sense. I feel like that was such a like vague answer, but yeah, that's kind of our thoughts now. I'd say the next 3 to 5 years. I'm such a maternal person, and I am really looking forward to that stage in my life, but I would like to do maybe like 1 or 2 big holidays before. I feel like we've got a little bit more travel in us, because I know that that's also a really hard thing to do when you have kids. Anyway, let's move on. I feel like that's something that I could talk about for an hour. The next question is festive faves, film, song, part of Xmas Day. My favourite Christmas song, it keeps playing on the radio, and it kind of makes me sad this year because it was mine and my nan's favourite Christmas song. And is it A Fairy Tale of New York? The Fairy Tale of New York? That Christmas song, like, it just reminds me of her so much. So this is like the first Christmas without her, and every time I hear it at the moment I'm like, oh. So yeah, that's definitely my favourite Christmas song. Christmas film, me and Sam have spoke about this last week when we were trying to decide on one. I think my favourite Christmas film is The Holiday. I love Cameron Diaz in that. I love her outfits, I love the vibe. Like, I would love to stay in that cosy cottage. I feel like it just gives you such a warm, fuzzy feeling. But I also said to Sam, when I was little, I don't remember watching Christmas films. Like, it wasn't like a big thing that we used to do. Whereas Sam, like, I think his family used to watch Christmas films a lot. His favourite is Love Actually. We watch Love Actually every single year, probably like 3 times around the Christmas period without fail. But Sam also likes to do a Harry Potter marathon, so around the like festive period he will watch all of the Harry Potters like consecutively, one after the other. So that's like a little tradition of his. And favourite part of Xmas Day, I'd say, this is going to be quite controversial, but I was thinking about this the other day. I saw a TikTok and it got me thinking. I'd say I actually prefer Christmas Eve over Christmas Day. I think just because like the excitement of it, and I feel like everyone's in such a good mood, like everyone's finished work for Christmas and there's that like buzz in the air for the next day. I feel like Christmas Day, when you get past a certain time, it's like, oh, it's over now. Like, I do like the chill vibes of Boxing Day, but I think Christmas Eve, you've got so much to look forward to. Like, you've got waking up on Christmas morning, then you've got Boxing Day, then you've got New Year's Eve. I feel like you just got it all lined up ready, and I feel like that's quite nice. And we've always, every year for Christmas Eve, we usually go out for a nice meal, like to a restaurant. So I'd say that's my favourite part of like the festive season. Next question, are you thinking of having any New Year's resolutions, or is there anything you're excited about for the new year? So I've spoken about this on here. I think I actually took you with us when we went car shopping. I know this is going to sound so materialistic and quite boring to some people, but a new car is something that we have spoken about and been like loosely researching and talking about for probably the past like 6 months to a year. It's been like a really like long process, and we're still not even really even halfway there. I've had a few comments about the new car, and we don't yet have the new car. We're still in our old car. We haven't found a car that we want to buy yet, but this is like a decision that we're not rushing into, because again, I've seen firsthand, I've read about it, I've seen people online, I know people in real life that have rushed into the decision of a expensive big car and like crippled themselves financially, and I don't think it's maybe the right thing to do, and I don't want to put us in a position where it's going to like negatively affect us financially for like years to come, because it is such a big decision. The car that we're looking at is an expensive car, and it's going to be like a long-term thing. It's going to be a car that we're going to have for the next like however many years, 5 to 10 years. It's going to be like a long-term thing, so it's definitely not something that we're rushing into. We're doing a lot of research on what the best options are. We have found the car that we want, we know exactly what we want, so that's another thing as well. We've got to kind of wait until the exact car comes up that we're looking for, and yeah, it's definitely something that we want to look at in the new year, and we're hoping to like really get that ball moving, and hopefully looking to get the new car like early 2025. We were initially thinking of having it, like hoping to have it before Christmas, but it's just one of those things, like I'd rather not rush it, I'd rather take our time, make sure that we're making the right choices, and yeah, it's something to look forward to. So that's like more of a materialistic goal. Otherwise, I'm thinking just progressing in this like line of work. Like this line of work to me is still really new, and especially when I'm talking about like my YouTube channel and stuff, it's like a baby channel. Like I think I've been on YouTube now for I never know when I started. That's really bad, isn't it? It's either 2 or 3 years now, but I feel like only recently, I'd say in the past not even 6 months, I've started to get like a tiny little bit of momentum. And I feel like YouTube is one of those platforms that's a lot harder to grow, but it's kind of long-term worth it. It's a big time investment for not much reward in the initial stages, whereas TikTok, like you can get TikToks blow up quite easily, especially like back in the day when TikTok was a newer thing and when I was starting out on TikTok. Whereas YouTube, you kind of have to nurture your channel, you have to like create audience, and it does take a lot of time and effort and energy. So I will be looking to just carry on nurturing and investing all my time in building my YouTube channel and my TikTok. Looking back on 2024, I've seen people doing trends where they're like, oh, I didn't think I'd done much in 2024, and then they're writing their achievements, and I love seeing things like that. And when I sat and I was like, if I think about the brands that I've worked with specifically over on my TikTok channel, if you would have said to me at the beginning of this year, you're going to work with like HomeSense, you're going to work with all these brands, like I never would have believed you. So sometimes I think you have to like take a step back and actually look at the progress you've made. And now that this is pretty much my full-time job, I've not spoken about this much on here or TikTok, but my social media management work now is pretty non-existent. So this pretty much is my full-time job now, which gives me so much imposter syndrome, and it's something that I've kind of like been fighting to admit for quite a long time. Like even to like friends and family and stuff, you still get that kind of feeling of like borderline embarrassment, because I feel like people still in this day and age don't see this as a real job. Like trying to explain to people that it is and the potential of it, I feel like some people still don't realise that, so it can be quite a hard thing to like admit, which is what I've been kind of struggling with, which is why I was kind of hanging on to my social media management work, because I feel like that was more of a typical job that I wouldn't feel embarrassed about saying at like family functions and that kind of thing. I feel like I'm getting down a really deep rabbit hole now, but yeah, I just, looking back on the progress I've made, I just feel really happy and really proud, and like just totally still in shock that the things that have happened this year. So yeah, I just want to continue building my audience. I love the little community that I've built, like over on TikTok and over here. Like some of the comments and messages that I get now, it just like makes me want to cry with happiness, because it's just so sweet and everyone is just so lovely. And I feel like, yeah, the amount of people that say like my videos bring them comfort, or like I'm their comfort creator, like it's just still like lost for words. And even if one person found some sort of like comfort in my videos, that would make like my year worthwhile. So yeah, I just want to carry on progressing in my little career, building my platforms, and yeah, so that and the car basically is pretty much for 2025. I don't like to put too much pressure on New Year's resolutions because I feel like you can quickly run out of steam. If you go into January, I've done it before, I've gone into January, I've made vision boards, I've made like this list of things that I want to achieve, and if by like March I've not made any progress, I'm like, ugh, and I kind of like run out of steam. So I like to look at it as like a full journey rather than, you know, like a short, I don't know how to like word this, but I feel like sometimes if you put too much pressure on January and New Year's resolutions, I feel like by halfway through the year you've kind of run out of steam and run out of momentum. So I like to kind of just see how the year evolves, and I do quite a lot of like monthly planning, and I'll make probably like 4 or 5 different vision boards throughout the whole year. So like as things sort of change, or like, because I've done it before as well, like with vision boards, when I revisit them I've put an image on there and I'm like, well, things have changed and I've done that instead of this, and now I don't necessarily want that, or I don't want to be working towards that. So I love vision boards. They're like my favourite way of manifesting and of like goal planning, and yeah, kind of just getting clear on your visions and like what you want out of life or what you want out of your year. And yeah, as I said, I like to make 4 or 5 a year, and I like to revisit them every couple of months or so, because I feel like that's the most accurate way of doing this. Can you hear that wind? I don't know if you'll be able to. It's literally like whistling through the house. So yeah, I hope that answered that question. I feel like I'm really vague and I get off on my own little tangents with these questions. Okay, the next question is, currently saving for our first home. How long did it take you to save, and did you find the process stressful? So I always feel like a bit of a cheat with like questions like this and talking about saving for our first house and stuff like that, because me and Sam were really fortunate for a couple of reasons really. We lived with his family completely rent free, so pretty much all of our wage every single month was going into savings for the house. We didn't have to pay for anything apart from like the odd food shop. So we were saving like 95% of our paycheck, and we weren't buying ourselves clothes. We weren't spending any money on like going out or anything. Like literally all of our money would go into our savings. And secondly, this was like 2019 to 2020. So we were pretty much in like the height of lockdown. Like this was when no one was going out, like you could not leave your house. I think we reserved our house April 2020, and then obviously, did lockdown start March? I think we'd reserved our house literally just as lockdown came in, like just as COVID was became a thing in this country. So we had months and months of not leaving the house. So I say 90% of our paycheck, pretty much 100% of our paycheck was going straight into our savings accounts, and it kind of gave us an advantage because we didn't have the temptation of like going out and spending money on like restaurants or nights out or holidays or anything like that. So I think that the timing for us, as awful as lockdown was and COVID like destroyed so many lives, the timing for us couldn't have been better, because it gave us that chance to save as much money as we did. And did I find it stressful? Yeah, we did find it stressful. When we reserved our house, we were 21, 22, and we hadn't even been together a year. Is that right? We'd just been together a year, I think. Yeah, so we met in May 2019. We reserved our house in April 2020. So we'd been together 11 months. Is that right? Yeah. So we were full on. When we first got together, it was like all steam, no breaks. But we were so young. Like looking back to it now, my brother is 20, is my brother 23? I think my brother's 23. And the thought of him buying a house now, I'm like, you're literally a baby. I know it's different with boys, like women and men, I think as well. Like I think men take that little bit longer to mature. I know that's generalising, but I feel like they do. Like Sam was quite a mummy's boy, and also I'd gone to uni, so I'd moved out of my family home when I was 18, whereas this is the first time that he's moved. So I did notice a lot of things like around the house, and like, because obviously I'd been away from my family. But did we find it stressful? Yeah, I found it really stressful. Like you're opened up to my memory card ran out. I feel like that's a sign that I need to stop dragging these questions out. But stress, yes, we definitely felt stress. As I was saying, I feel like you're plunged into this world of things that you 1000% should be taught at school. It still blows my mind to this day how you're taught nothing about mortgages, interest rates, even like different bank accounts. Like, how is it possible that they don't even like touch on things like that in school? They're more worried about algebra or like photosynthesis of plants. Like, it doesn't compute in my brain. But anyway, you're plunged into this world, and you're kind of like, to be fair, our solicitor and our mortgage advisor were really good and held our hand throughout the whole process. You've got to be transparent with them. I was literally like, look, you're going to have to hold my hand and explain these things as if you were talking to a 5-year-old, because I actually have no idea what you're saying, and I really struggle with understanding things like that. Even when someone explains it to me, I'm looking at them, words are coming out their mouth, but in my brain, like, nothing's making sense, and I had to just be honest with him. And they're more than understanding usually. Like, you only have to like come into contact with things like this when you're actually buying a house. So, you know, when you're a first time buyer, I think they're very understanding, and you've just got to be honest and just get them to break it down for you. But it was stressful. But to put your mind at ease, like, honestly, the minute you walk through your first home, the door for your first home, like, the stress just, for us anyway, like, literally just lifted, and it's the best feeling in the world. And the novelty never wears off, to me anyway. I've never had that, you know, when you buy something or you go somewhere, or sometimes the novelty can wear off on things, but I still wake up every single morning in this house and I'm like, how is this our house? And I remember like the first 6 months of living in our house, it felt like we were in like a holiday home or like our parents' house or something. It doesn't sink in for a while because it's just such an amazing feeling. So best of luck. I hope it goes really well. Sending you all the love, and honestly, it'll be the best thing ever. The next question is, I've noticed you film and upload the same day. I've seen others do Vlogmas differently, which is so different. What made you choose to do it all in the same day instead of filming one day before? Okay, so basically I've just made myself 10 times the work. It's so much harder to do it on the same day, edit a video, get it exported, upload it. Like, it's a lot because it can take like 45 minutes for a video to export. Then you have to load it up to YouTube, that takes another hour. So it's a silly move from me. The people that have done it like a day in advance, or the people that batch film, it makes your life so much easier basically. I can't remember what I did for Vlogtober. I can't remember if I was filming in advance or if I'd, basically this time around, all it was like, there wasn't like any big decision that I made to do it. Basically, when I should have started it, so I think it should have started on a Sunday, we didn't have any plans, and I was like, I don't want to start Vlogmas today when I'm just like sat at home not doing anything, because I feel like you have so many days like that in a month, like Vlogtober and Vlogmas, where it's just one of those life admin days where you have to get stuff done around the house, and then you're like, well, I'm doing Vlogtober, I'm doing Vlogmas, I have to film something. So I didn't want to start it off like that. And me and Sam had a really like cute little, it's when we went Christmas shopping and we went to the market and we had a little breakfast day, and I thought that's a cute way to start Vlogmas off. So I just held off until the 1st. So on the 1st I filmed the day, because it was the 1st that we went shopping and everything. And then I just quickly edited it and then got it up. But that's the thing, like, once you're committed to that, you're committed to that, because now, unless I skip a day, I'm having to stick to filming and uploading on the same day, which I hope isn't an issue. I did for Vlogtober, I think I've done it, and my previous Vlogmas, I have joined 2 days up into one, which may happen. I was thinking about doing it today just because we didn't have much planned today, but because we've done our little Q&A and stuff, I'll probably be able to get this up today. But I hope that answers your question. This year it was kind of just one of those ones. I didn't want to start Vlogmas on a day where we weren't doing anything, and we had a fun day lined up the following day, which is why I started. But yeah, I also do like to do it in real time. I've watched quite a lot of Vlogmases this year where people have like batched filmed for the first like week or so, and I personally just like to do it in real time. I don't know why, that's just one of my little quirks, but that's how I prefer to do it. I would have liked to have done it the day in advance, just so it's not such a manic rush, but we're doing what we're doing now, is what it is, just have to continue now. And then the last question is, what is your favourite jewellery brand? And when this popped up, I think it was the first question that was asked, I was like, I'm quite funny with jewellery, so I'll give you a little random jewellery tour now. I haven't got my necklace on. I was literally like feeling for my necklace. I haven't got my necklace on, so this is going to be a simple and boring jewellery tour. But jewellery to me is more about the like sentiment behind the jewellery rather than what it looks like. I'm never anyone who's like worn loads of stacking rings and like, do you call it costume jewellery, you know, like stuff that you pick up in Primark and stuff like that. I don't really wear jewellery for the aesthetic. It does all have a meaning. So this silver bangle, I get so many questions about where this is from over on my TikTok. I've literally never taken this bangle off. I think I've taken it off a few times in the airport when they've made me take it off, but this does not leave my wrist when I go to the gym, when I sleep. It's just one of those jewellery pieces that I just leave on. And my mum actually got me this made for my 21st birthday because I've got such baby wrists. Honestly, I can't even explain. Like, let's compare it to my phone just to kind of give you a scale of how small my wrist is. So buying me a bangle wasn't really an option, so she had this made, and honestly I love it so much. I love really simple jewellery as well. Like, this to me is just perfect, just something simple that I can keep on. I'm a silver girl, and yeah, I love it. And it's also got meaning. I always say that I'm never ever going to take this bangle off. Like, as dark as it sounds, I don't want to be buried, but I want to wear this bangle till I'm not here anymore. It's just one of those ones that I'm just going to keep on forever. And then, saying that, this is an ASOS bangle that is really tarnished, so it needs to go. Now, this was literally £10 off ASOS, but the reason I bought this was because my auntie, who lives out in the Middle East, she lives in Abu Dhabi, she bought me and all my girl cousins, how many of us is there? I think there's like 9 of us on my dad's side. Is that right? Maybe not 9. Maybe I've overestimated that. But anyway, she bought all of us girls matching bracelets, and I love this. Let me try and get a close up. And it's from a brand called Damas. I think it's let me have a look. Dammas. Oh, okay, no, it's Dammas. This is the logo. She bought us all a little bracelet from there, and I love it, and it's sentimental. We've all got one. It was around the time that my nan passed away, which was her mum, so it's just kind of one of those. And I feel like this is such a piece of jewelry that my nan would wear. Like, this is so her style. Like, I remember her vividly having pieces like this, so it was just kind of like a sentiment to my nan that me and all my cousins now have, and my auntie has a matching one as well. But that's the first gold piece of jewellery I have ever owned. Like, my earrings are silver, my bangle's silver, I am just silver through and through. So that's the reason I bought this one from ASOS, just to kind of like tie the gold in. But I think it's so dainty and pretty. I really love it, and it kind of made me want to start buying more gold jewelry. But I know some people are a bit funny with like Sam will not mix silver and gold, whereas I'm just like whatever. And then I do usually, you might have noticed in my previous videos, I do usually have a little love heart on a chain, on a necklace chain, and that is, I think it's a Gucci one, but my dad got me that for a Christmas present. So every piece of jewellery that I own is actually from family members. That's the only reason why I will wear jewellery, apart from my earrings. I think these are cheap ones from ASOS as well, but I'm not really a jewellery girl. I never have been, and if I do, it's just really simple, so I can't really share any of my favourite jewellery brands there. But that Damas, definitely have a look. I don't know if it's like a Middle Eastern brand. I don't know if you'll be able to get it over here, but yeah, they sell really pretty stuff on there. But I think, oh, actually, I think there was one more question. Actually, I received a few on my TikTok. Let me just make sure that I've not missed any. Okay, I've got one here actually. This is just going to round it up because I feel like I've spoke for so long now. Please can we have an update on skincare journey with Tret? I've just started my prescription myself. What made you stop using the Skin and Me moisturiser? Is Inculus better? So at the moment as you'll be able to see, I'm in a fairly good place with my skin, apart from this stubborn little cluster which just will not go, which is actually driving me mental now. I spoke about it yesterday. It is so irritating because if I didn't have that, I'd have pretty much clear skin at the moment, which is a rarity. But it's really hard because I've had a few comments on my videos recently of people saying, how did you clear your skin up? Like, your skin looks so good. Can you share your skincare routine? Nothing changes. I have no idea, and I've been trying to work this out for years of my triggers, of my acne triggers, because I'll go for months. Like, I had about 6 to 8 months of having crystal clear glass skin, and I loved it. And I was like, that's it, I've cleared my acne up, I've healed my acne, it's never coming back. And I was getting used to the clear skin life. And then, like, I just woke up one day and all of my acne was back. And I don't change my skincare, my diet. I mean, I'd say at the moment I'm probably eating the worst that I've eaten in months, and my skin is as good as it's been. Do you know what I mean? It's like the best it's been for so long. So I'm really struggling to pinpoint what is causing my acne. I don't take any vitamins or minerals that could flare it. Like, there's no external factors that I can, like, say that is what's causing my acne. Like, I've not noticed any patterns. So it's really hard when people ask me this, because I'm just like, I wish I could share like a secret. And I've done it before. I'm like, this is how I cleared up my acne, shared my skincare, but then my acne will come back and I'm using the same skincare. So I don't know. I think skincare can only do so much. I think it is an internal thing, but I think it is important when you struggle with acne to be on it with your skincare, because I feel like it gives you the best fighting chance to clear it up. Tret, I would always recommend Tret to anyone who suffers with deep cystic acne. Retinols more for people who have like smaller little breakouts. I feel like Tret is the route to go if you have really deep, you know, the spots that don't have a head, they feel like a cyst, they're really deep under the skin, which is what my chin was covered in. I feel like Tret is the best way to go to tackle those. I love Tret. You will have an initial couple of months, it can last up to 6 months of purging, which can include like dryness, flakiness. Your spots might even get worse to what they were before you started using it, but you've got to see it out. You've got to get through that phase. I know it's so hard, and I was so close to just bailing out on it, but you've got to get through it. And it's also anti-aging. Like, there's so many other perks to using Tret, and I will never not use Tret now. It will be a part of my routine for the rest of my life. It's literally Botox in a bottle. I've noticed like fine lines and marks that I had on my face completely go, and the texture of my skin as well, it just looks so much like smoother and shinier. So I love Tret. I'd always recommend it, but obviously get the professional advice. You can only be prescribed Tret, you can't buy it online. So obviously if someone's prescribed you it, they think you're suitable for it. The Skin and Me moisturiser, absolutely loved it. There's no real reason why I've used the Inky List. Memory card ran out again, so let's make this quick. But yeah, there's no real reason why I've stopped using the Skin and Me moisturiser over the Inky List. Basically, I worked with Skin and Me, so when they sent the products, I started using them every day. Absolutely loved all of them, would 100% recommend it. I am definitely going to repurchase eventually. But I had 2 bottles of the Inky List moisturiser in my trolley, so when I ran out of my Skin and Me stuff, instead of rebuying the Skin and Me straight away, I went back to the Inky List moisturiser, which I like just as much. I can't say which I prefer because I love them both the same, and I feel like they've both done wonders for my skin. So either the Inky List Omega Water Cream or the Skin and Me, I can't remember what it's called, is it Prep and Purify moisturiser? Both incredible, both amazing prices as well. I've used really expensive moisturisers and I feel like those 2 have worked even better for my skin. So yeah, if you are suffering with your skin at the moment, my heart goes out to you. I know how draining and frustrating it can be, like when you're waking up in the morning, like when I've got bad skin, I wake up in the morning, the first thing I will do is go and look in the mirror at my spots and be like, is it going to be a good day, is it going to be a bad day? Because there's been periods of time where my mood has actually depended on what my skin looks like. So yeah, I'm sending you a huge hug if you're struggling with your skin. I have done some videos before. If you scroll through my YouTube, you'll find some videos of like my skincare routine and like tips and tricks, and some of my Q&A videos as well. I've gone into it as well. But I hope you enjoyed that little Q&A. I'm going to sit and edit this video. I think we'll maybe make some dinner together. I'll show you our little cosy M&S dinner I'm excited to have. I think I'm going to stick a Christmas film on now and watch the storm outside, because yeah, as gutted as I am that I'm not seeing my besties, there's nothing better than when the weather outside is awful and you're at home nice and snug and cosy. And I think Lola agrees. Are you nice and cozy? I know I said at the end of the last clip that I was going to show you our little dinner and carry this video on, but I've just been sat editing this on the sofa, munching my little M&S chocolate buttons, and this footage has come to nearly an hour long. So I am going to wrap it up here just so we're not getting into like crazy territory of the length of this video. This is the problem when I do a Q&A, it just goes on and on and on and adds like 40 minutes to the vlog. But I really hope you've enjoyed spending today with me. I'm not sure what our plans are tomorrow. I think it's just going to be weather dependent. We're just going to see what we feel like doing, because I don't think mentally I can take any more cancelled plans, so we're just going to go with the flow. But yeah, thank you as always for being here, for watching, for spending another Vlogmas with me, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one, and I hope you're all staying cozy in this storm.